Cody, you've been doing this for a while. Do you still get extra pumped up when you are approaching a big game like this season?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to play Green Bay is obviously a big game for us. And to open the season, especially at home against a division opponent, and let alone a rival, it's a pretty big game for us.
Good to see the little splint on your pinky. First off, how's that doing? And then does that like preclude you from snapping? Do you think you can snap with that?
Yeah, this is just for long term. Trying to prevent long term damage. But I feel good. I'm ready to go and excited for the week.
Is moving back and forth, you've done it so much,
Yeah.
is it difficult anymore? Or
No.
what are the challenges of it?
Obviously just playing next to Braxton versus, the interior three guys. So I was fortunate to be able to work with Braxton, all of last year too. So it's kind of like just picking up riding a bike again, but working those fits a little bit more before and after practice. Getting better continuity there is the biggest thing. But, like where we're at, feel good where we're at, and we're ready to roll.
I don't know if you look at it like a fan would at this point in the season, but when you look at the improvements you've made, you also look at the parity in the league, the parity in the division. It's a lot different than it used to be. And does that kind of breathe hope also when from your vantage point, even as a player?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Obviously, there's change every year. But for me, I'm just focused on myself getting better and us as a team getting better. We just take that day by day and continue to, stack good days and continue to get better.
In the year and a half that you've been around Braxton, what stood out to you, I guess, one about him on the field and two about his approach?
Yeah, I think, the thing with Braxton is he's figured out his routine, off the field. Through the week, he's, kind of got it figured out. And then on the field, just another year in the offense. You definitely see his confidence level, has increased a little bit, and he's playing really well right now. So we're excited to see where that goes, and, it's only going to get better.
Cody, as the year went on last year, it feels like the identity of the offense became more apparent. You kind of grew in that identity last season. Now, heading into this year, do you feel like you have a better idea of what the identity of this football team will be going into week one, or is it more like new year, new team, we'll see?
Yeah, I would say more new year, new team. Obviously we got a few new guys, a few new pieces. So we'll have to see. That's kind of created. You want to kind of establish that in training camp, but it kind of evolves over the first few weeks of the season, I guess, if you will. So we'll see. What the identity is come a few weeks, but it's kind of hard to tell right now. We've got a good foundation, and we're just going to continue to build off that.
Cody, if you could go back to your first game ever, what were some of your emotions going into that? If I'm not mistaken, you never played center before, right? And you were going against Vince Wilfork, right?
Yep.
The first time ever.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to that training camp. So I was playing guard the whole training camp, and like that Sunday, I think before we opened up down at Houston, I got a call, and we just signed Josh Sitton from Green Bay, and you don't know what to expect, and so I picked up the phone, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to move you to center." And I had played a little bit of center, I guess, at the Senior Bowl in practice, but that was really kind of my first ever really snapping a ball against, real live human beings. So that was kind of an eye opener. And then to open the season against Vince Wilfork, Hall of Fame guy, that was quite the experience. So that was kind of my welcome to the NFL. But it ended up working out for me, and got me to this point where I am today.
You guys came into camp set with your 5 starters, and then I'm not sure those 5 starters had practice together.
Yeah.
How do you know whether you're going to gel going into the first game? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get a feel for it in practice, I guess, if you will. Obviously, there's difference in practice in the games, but we got a little bit of a feel for it, in the preseason games, just a little bit of feel. So we'll be excited to get out there on Sunday and get rolling. But, as we all know, injuries happen in this league, and, that's why it's important to have good depth players like we do. So just excited to get out there with the group of 5 and get rolling.
Yeah, I know you're going to be flexible wherever they need you, but was it really nice going into camp knowing where everybody was gonna be? And what sort of, how did that change once people started getting?
Yeah, I mean that's always nice to kind of know. But like I said, injuries happen, certain stuff happens. This and that. So you got to be prepared. And it's nice that we have guys that have that position flexibility. They can change on a flip of a coin or whatever. So kudos to our front office and getting guys in here that are able to do that.
Coach talked about this idea of having a rhythm and routine throughout the course of the season, and talked about encouraging you guys to talk to your families about what that may or may not look like for you all individually. You've been doing this for a while. What does that look like for you and your family? What's been that dynamic?
Yeah. It obviously changes when you just have a spouse and kids. Where I am now I have 2 kids. But they understand. They know what they signed up for. They know this time of year is obviously an important time in our careers and in the season of everything. So you just gotta kind of be open with them and kind of tell them what that is, and usually they respond really well. And for me and my wife and kids, they understand that this is a busy time of year, and they've done really good, and they're very supportive of what I've chose to do.
Cody, you were talking about the Packers rivalry before. For guys like you who have been around for a while and have seen how lopsided it's been in recent years, how much more meaning does it have to try and get?
Yeah, I mean, that's always in the back of our minds. We know how big this game is, and the Packers history, and everything it brings. But you also have to know it's just another game. It's we try and go 1-0 every week, and that's how we got to treat it.